Our lawn was deemed a disgrace, a blight on the neighborhood, and the penalty? Pay up or face the cops. That's what Margaret, the iron-fisted president of our homeowners association in the quiet town of Willow Creek, Oregon, declared back in the spring of 2024. I never imagined a patch of slightly overgrown grass could spiral into a showdown that would shake our sleepy suburb to its core. My wife, Clara, stood unflinched, her calm demeanor masking a storm of resolve, while Margaret's smug confidence crumbled the moment Clara flashed her badge. This wasn't just about a lawn, it was a clash of wills, a fight for truth, and a twist that left jaws on the floor. I'm curious, where are you reading this from? Drop it in the comments. It all began with a single letter, slipped under our door on a chilly March morning. Clara and we'd always cherished our cozy corner of Willow Creek, a place where life hummed along peacefully. Our lawn wasn't pristine, sure, but it was ours, a little wild, a little free. Margaret, though, saw it as a personal insult. She'd ruled the HOA for nearly 2 decades, not with kindness, but with a ruthless grip, rigging votes with obscure rules, doling out favors to loyalists, and crushing dissent with a flood of legal threats. She had her allies, old board members, too comfortable to challenge her, contractors who always got the HOA's contracts. Margaret wasn't just about neat hedges. She had her eyes on a bigger prize. There was a protected greenbelt next to our property, a lush strip of trees and open land she wanted rezoned for a strip mall or condos to boost her own property's value. Our lawn, in its untamed glory, gave her the perfect excuse to start her campaign. The first fine $2.50 for non-compliant landscaping landed like a slap. Clara, a senior analyst at the Department of Homeland Security, specializing in land use regulations, barely blinked. She's used to dealing with real threats, not petty HOA nonsense. But something about the letter's sharp tone and oddly specific wording caught her attention. "This isn't just about grass, James," she said, her eyes narrowing as she set the letter on our kitchen table. I shrugged, ever the optimist. "She's just flexing, Clara. Let's mow the lawn and move on." But Clara wasn't buying it. She sensed something deeper, something calculated. Then Margaret turned up the heat. She started patrolling our street, clipboard in hand, snapping photos of our lawn like a wannabe detective. She'd linger by the greenbelt, her gaze fixed on the untouched land, once even tucking away what looked like a zoning map. Clara caught it all, her suspicion growing. The fines kept coming, each one harsher, threatening liens and interest that seemed absurd for a few extra inches of grass. "She's building a case, James," Clara said one evening, tossing another letter onto a growing pile. "This is about that greenbelt, not our yard." Neighbors started whispering too, their friendly waves replaced by tense nods. Margaret's reign was suffocating Willow Creek, turning our community into her personal fiefdom. Clara dove into research, her evenings spent poring over zoning laws, environmental reports, and HOA bylaws. She uncovered that the greenbelt was a federally protected ecological zone, untouchable without rare permits and community approval, something Margaret clearly didn't have. Then, a chance chat with Mrs. Larson, a kind retiree new to town, dropped a bombshell. "Margaret tried this before, dear," Mrs. Larson said, her voice heavy. "In my old neighborhood, she pushed to rezone a park for condos. Environmental laws stopped her, and she was livid." Clara's eyes lit up. The pieces clicked. Margaret was replaying her old scheme, using our lawn as her first move. The tension peaked when Margaret issued a final ultimatum, a thick envelope stamped with the HOA's logo, demanding we fix our unsightly lawn or face a special hearing. Attached was her grand plan, glossy renderings of a revitalized greenbelt, promising skyrocketing property values. It was a blatant push to rezone, cloaked in community pride. "She thinks she's untouchable," Clara said, spreading maps and legal clauses across our table. "This ends now." The hearing, held in Willow Creek's stuffy community center, was Margaret's stage. She strutted in, her tailored suit screaming authority, her slides dripping with promises of prosperity. She barely mentioned our lawn, instead preaching about optimizing underused land, with a hired architect's polished spiel. The room packed with curious neighbors, her loyalists, and timid board members seemed to eat it up. Clara and I sat silent, letting Margaret's arrogance swell. She thought she'd won, her eyes gleaming with greed. Then Margaret went too far. Convinced of her invincibility, she called the police, claiming we were harassing her and violating HOA rules. Sirens wailed as 2 cruisers pulled up to our house. Margaret stood by her mailbox, smirking, ready to see us humiliated. My heart raced, but Clara was ice calm. When the officers asked for her ID, she reached into her wallet and pulled out a blue card emblazoned with Department of Homeland Security Special Agent. Margaret's face froze, her smugness evaporating. The officers' demeanor shifted instantly, their respect palpable. "Officers," Clara said, her voice steady. "This is a frivolous HOA dispute, and MS. Margaret's actions may involve illegal attempts to bypass environmental laws." The officers turned to Margaret, their questions sharp. She stammered, her face ashen, her empire crumbling in real time. After the police left, Clara didn't gloat. She sent her evidence maps, bylaws, Mrs. Larson's account, and Margaret's own words to the EPA, the city's planning department, and local conservation groups. The response was swift. Investigators stormed the HOA office, demanding answers. Margaret's denials fell apart against Clara's airtight dossier. The agencies declared her plan a blatant violation of federal and state laws, slapping her with massive fines and restoration costs. The media pounced, branding her the disgraced HOA tyrant. Neighbors turned on her, and even her loyal board members fled. At a tense HOA meeting, a quiet board member, Mr. Thompson, stood up, exposing Margaret's years of manipulation, secret deals, silenced dissent. The board voted unanimously to oust her. Margaret's downfall was brutal. Her house, once her pride, wouldn't sell tainted by scandal. She was forced to list it at a loss to cover fines that dwarfed her scheming profits. One dawn, I saw her slip away in a small moving truck, a broken figure vanishing down the street she once ruled. The Greenbelt was restored, blooming into a vibrant haven under EPA oversight. The new HOA board, transparent and fair, apologized to us, and neighbors thanked Clara for freeing them. We declined their offer to join the board, content to enjoy our quiet victory. As our lawn blended into the restored Greenbelt, I felt a deep satisfaction. Margaret's greed had dug her own grave, proving that truth and integrity can topple even the most entrenched tyrants. So what do you think? Was Clara's badge reveal a justified power move, or should she have fought Margaret without it? Could Margaret have redeemed herself, or was her downfall inevitable? And what would you have done with a neighbor like her? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories of justice served. Where are you reading from?